Okay, we are recording and welcome to Women Healing Women and the World Wellness Webinar. So this is Elsie Kerns, and I'm really delighted to have you with me tonight. It's on the strawberry full moon, and it's referred to as a strawberry full moon from what I could find out is because, usually in ancient times, the wild strawberries came to bloom at the end of June. So they are referring to it as the strawberry full moon. However, as Sherry pointed out earlier, it's a full moon in Capricorn, and that is calling for us to let go, let go, let go, let go of old belief systems, let go of everything that is bothering us. So just an idea for that. And, I would love to have your ideas on what you'd like to learn on webinars. I'm interested in what would be, interesting to you. And you can email that to me or we'll talk about it tonight. When we finish the webinar, this is going to be an MP4, but I'm going to take it and transfer it into a YouTube link, so that you will be able to easily just click on the link and play it. I want to mention that since we're talking about this full moon, if you are an astrology buff, Pam Younghans is a famous astrologer, wonderful lady in Kenmore, Washington, and she is going to do a 6-month update, July through December. And she's going to do that on the new moon, which is also an eclipse, July the 12th. So I'll send you information about that. And we are going to do this also for the first time on Zoom. So Pam and I met earlier this afternoon on Zoom, and she's still biting her fingernails about this. And then in early August, Sherry, you might be interested in this, I'll have Dr. Gail Von Konigan, who is a nurse practitioner at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. And she is trying to integrate Eden energy medicine there. She's a Reiki master. She's spoken a number of times at the ANA, American Holistic Nurses Association, yearly conferences. And she is going to teach us a special Merkaba meditation. And that'll be like August the 2nd, and I'll send out information on that. So I'd like to begin tonight, and I'd like to show you, and for those of you that are on the phone, you'll be able to follow me and listen. I'd like to start out with just a very gentle way to bring in spirit. This is something that I created for myself, and I think you will enjoy it as well. And I'm going to talk you through it, and then we're going to do it about 3 times. So we're going to begin with our palms together in prayer position. And we're going to begin with coming up to the top of the head. And here we're going to say, may I know. Now, when we say, may I know, we're invoking that high sense perception of direct knowing, clairsentience, at the crown center. We're going to bring our palms, and our thumbs are going to touch the 3rd eye. And here we're going to say, may I see the truth. And may I hear the truth. So that 6th chakra works with both clairvoyance and clairaudience. We're going to bring our thumbs to the lips and say, may I speak the truth. And now we're going to come down to the heart center, and we're going to say, may I speak the truth from my heart to all humanity. So we're going to do that again. Palms come together. We raise the palms and sit them on top of the crown center. We're connecting to high spiritual invocation and inspiration. May I know the truth. Our palms come to the forehead and our thumbs touch that third eye. May I see the truth. May I hear the truth. Our thumbs come to the lips, just off the lips. May I speak the truth. Palms rest by the heart center from my heart. Open the palms to all humanity. Mm-hmm. So one final time, palms come together from the heart center up to the crown. May I know the truth. Coming down, the thumbs touch the third eye. May I see the truth. May I hear the truth. Palms come just off the lips. May I speak the truth. Palms rest at the heart. May I speak the truth from my heart. Palms open up to all humanity. So let's do that just one more time. Palms come together at the heart center. They reach up to the crown. May I know the truth. Palms come to the forehead. Thumbs are pressed against the forehead, that third eye. May I see and hear the truth. Palms come off the lips. May I speak the truth. Palms come to the heart center. May I speak the truth from my heart to all humanity. So that's a nice way to begin your meditation in the morning or the evening. And you're again opening up that high sense perception at the crown. You're opening up to divine knowing, direct knowing. At the forehead, you're opening up to clairvoyance, seeing, and clairaudience, hearing. At the lips, you're talking about expression and speaking the truth. And when you come down to the heart, from the heart, opening your palms to all humanity. So I just want to invite those that have just recently joined us, if you go down at the bottom of your screen with your cursor, you should be able to see a list of things that you can do. And one of them would be to mute yourself, please. And we are recording this for you to enjoy later. And if anybody has any questions, there is a chat box down there. You can put a question in there. I'll be able to see it. So again, it's right across that bottom bar. You'll see a whole bunch of things and you'll be able to mute your microphone. So the next thing that I want to talk about, and I have my box here, is brassica tea. And this is the green tea, lemon flavored. It's the decaf green tea. So the reason I'm mentioning this is that they are going to run a special for me beginning July 1st, and I will make sure that you get the code. It's a 15% discount and free shipping. Okay, so whoever is on 267-250-3037. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, whoever's
Hello.
there.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can, but I wanted to just mute you. Okay, all right. Okay, we'll open up the lines a little bit later. Okay, so just to go back to brassica tea, I did an interview with Tony Talale, and Johns Hopkins University has been able to secure the compound under the registered trademark of True Brock that is the strongest anti-cancer agent. And it's in each tea bag, and they also have coffee. So I think it's a great way to, if you're not a big broccoli fan, this is from Broccoli Sprouts, broccoli itself. And one of the things that was really helpful was when Tony did the interview, he talked about the fact that brassica was responsible for the standardization of the seeds so that you'd be sure in each tea bag or coffee that you were getting the correct amount of this True Brock, these two compounds that are the highest anti-cancer agents. And what they're actually doing is destroying free radicals, which are what age us essentially. So I will make sure you get that coupon code and also the link to Tony's interview, which was only about 20 minutes if you're interested in learning it. And I was fascinated by the fact that Tony calls their products protection products. So because he figures that, you know, they are protecting people. The other thing I want to put up on the screen, and if you're on the phone, you might not be able to see it, but does anybody know what this is? It's a tongue scraper, and it is an Ayurvedic tool. And what you do with it, in fact, you can get it easily at Whole Foods, any health food store. They're only about $6 or $7. And so in Ayurvedic philosophy, in the morning after you brush your teeth, you would take this tongue scraper, wet it a little bit, and you will pull down and scrape all the toxins off your tongue. Now, here's another good thing about a tongue scraper. If you happen to have chocolate ice cream at bedtime, like I do sometimes, you're going to have that chocolate taste, and your body is going to want to stop at Dunkin' Donuts for just 1 cup of coffee and 1 donut on your way to work. So by scraping the tongue, you remove the residue of that taste and flavor. And it's also great for your breath. And actually, once you get used to doing this, it's really hard not to do it. It just feels so much cleaner. So people have said to me, well, you know, why don't you just use your toothbrush? But you don't want to use your toothbrush and be brushing your teeth with the toxins that are on the tongue. So the tongue scraper is a great idea. It's something you would use primarily in the morning. It's very inexpensive and very easy to carry. The last time my friend and I traveled, our bags were inspected for the tongue scraper. Always a little something. So the next thing I want to talk about is baking soda. And we all know about baking soda, that it's a rising agent and all of those things, but the Journal of Immunology has discovered that baking soda has wonderful anti-inflammatory properties. So what they suggested was that it really helps. A daily teaspoon in water helps things like chronic illness, autoimmune situations, and they actually did research on this, and that was what this article was based on. So they're saying it would help with heart disease, osteoporosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and what they found in the research was after 2 weeks of just, again, 1 teaspoon a day in water, what they found was that the spleen stopped pushing a inflammatory response and changed that into an anti-inflammatory. So something this simple. Now, one other thing I want to say about this is I'm holding Bob's Red Hill product. And the reason I'm doing that is because their baking soda has no aluminum in it. So if you're going to buy the baking soda, get Red Hill's baking soda with no aluminum. And the other thing I liked about Bob's Red Hill company is that it is all the employees own this company. So I thought that was unusual and really great to know. And the other piece about aluminum is, although they've taken a certain amount of mercury out of the vaccines, they've replaced it with aluminum. And so aluminum is a big toxin in the brain. If you read any of these latest books, Perlmutter, Dr. Stephen Gundry, they're all talking about toxicity. And again, anything that we can do to get rid of free radicals and toxicity. So once again, that's where something like brassica tea, and this is, as I said earlier, I have the green decaf, but they have green tea regular, a number of different kinds of teas and coffee that contain that true broth. So again, baking soda, really easy. Get Red Hill's baking soda. It lasts a long, long time, as you know. Now, something a little fun to break up the seriousness of all of this is, and I know everybody knows what this is. So I'm holding up a golf ball. And the reason I'm holding up the golf ball is because I want you to get a golf ball and try rolling your foot, hopefully your bare feet, over the golf ball, because it's going to wake up all of those meridian points that are connected to your organs and that end on the bottom of your feet. And you can go online, I have one here, and you can print out easily one of the reflexology charts, and that will show you where there's a tender area that your foot is rolling over. It will show you the organ that it's connected to. And the more that you roll the golf ball and work with that area, the less tender it will become. So this is just an easy way to get grounded. It's another good tool if you're flying, when you get on the ground, when you have an opportunity or get to your destination. Something as simple as rolling your foot on that golf ball can help you with jet lag, which is pretty difficult sometimes to get rid of depending on how far and how long you've been flying. So let me just stop there and ask if anybody has any questions. If you go down to the bottom of the screen, there's a little icon that says chat. You can type in a question there. And Shari, I saw your question about the fact that I was disappearing. So I corrected that by muting everyone, and then I will open up the lines for questions. So if you have a question right now, just type it in. Be happy to answer it. Just want to check to see if anything I've said so far needs clarification. The next thing I just want to talk about is people who are wearing an Apple Watch or Fitbits. I often see people with those at right around the lower part of their wrist here. And the reason I'm talking about this is because in Chinese medicine, you have what they call source points. I call them energy spark plugs. And they are right around this wrist area. So for example, at the end of the baby finger here, we have heart meridian. At the end of the ring finger here, gallbladder, circulation, large intestine, and lung in the middle, large intestine. So on each hand, right around the circle of this wrist, we have these key energy points. If you're wearing a watch or a Fitbit, all you need to do is slide it above the wrist bone so that you don't have that electromagnetic energy blocking the free flow of these vital energy points. So I'd like everyone to take their right hand and put it around their left wrist and just start twisting. Just start twisting. And just notice how that feels. That's waking up, heart, circulation, lung, large intestine, all of those key points. And you only need to do this for a minute or two and then switch hands and go to the right hand. Your left hand is over the right wrist, and go in and just real quick massage all of those key energy points. Now, when I say that they are source points or spark plugs, we know that a meridian is a long line of energy, but on every meridian line, there is one point that they say runs more energy to that organ than any other. So that's why we're doing this wrist twist, working with some of those key major points, and very quickly, very easily, just twisting each wrist for a minute or two. So that's something very healthy, easy that you can do. It gives you a boost to your energy, and it helps to promote energy going to those key meridians and energy points easily. So one of the things that when we did that exercise earlier, we came down and we were here at that third eye. And in many of the studies that I've done, whether it was with Barbara Brennan or Donna Eden, all of those healers were clairvoyant and could see energy and talk about it. And so everyone actually wanted to be clairvoyant. However, when we talk about high sense perception, the most important thing is to honor what your specific high sense perception is. So for example, let me see. Sherry, where are you? Here you are. So Sherry, I wanted to unmute you for a moment. There you are. Great. So wanted to unmute. I'm trying to there you go. So Sherry, I wanted to just, when I talk about this high sense perception, I wanted to talk about you a little bit because I know you. And so Sherry is someone who's very kinesthetic. She does massage and she does great doodling, but in her massage and in her, she's PT assistant, the minute Sherry touches you, her kinesthetic sense kicks in really 100%, and she knows where to go and she just feels where she needs to help you. Is that true, Sherry?
It is. I don't have to think. I can just move.
Great. Well, I like that. You don't have to think. Now, your partner, Anne has more direct knowing. That's how she gets a lot of her information. And of course, in her nursing field, hi, Anne, and all of the difficult people and situations that she dealt with, she had to depend on that direct knowing, or, if, at the third chakra, we have what we call that gut intuition. But when we talk about direct knowing, it's like a little higher sense than just gut intuition. So Anne, I would see you as someone who would depend on that, working with patients. Like you would just need, for some reason, to have the oxygen thing close by. You wouldn't know why, but later on in the day, it would be proven why, correct? Is that correct?
True. There would be sometimes I would just say, get this or do that. I still do it today, but different, it's differently. I'll say, oh, I feel like we need this. It just comes in. Yeah, true.
Yeah, it just comes in. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah. Thank you, girls. Okay, so is there anybody else that wants to, Karen, do you want to talk about high sense perception? I can unmute you for a moment. Karen?
Where am I?
Okay, so Karen, I just wanted to know if you wanted to talk about high sense perception, because, I know that I haven't talked to your senior for a long time, but, if it's okay if I read your field a little bit, you have a very, a very spiritual component in your life that you really depend on your guides and direction in your life. Is that true?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just can't get the full screen. Okay. Yes, that is true. Yeah. I'm a little bit like Sherry, where I just put my hands on people and let them do it, and I'm better off not thinking.
Right. Good. Yeah. So that's just a way. I mean, everybody has that particular sense in some way of high sense perception. And so again, everybody, when I went to these schools, wanted to be clairvoyant. They forgot about all the other senses that they had. And I remember there was one elderly woman who, she was elderly at the time because I was younger, but I'm now probably her age. And she was very, very quiet during all of our meetings. And then when they began talking about high sense perception, she very quietly announced one day that she just listened to what they were telling her. And she revealed that she had a great sense of, clear audience, that her whole life she had depended on that. And it didn't matter whether it was directions to go somewhere or information that she needed. It was just very amazing to hear her very quietly reveal this special gift and talent that she had. So when we think about the third eye, or opening up that clairvoyance, or being able to see, one easy exercise is just to take your middle finger, because this is considered your fire finger. It runs the most energy. It's connected to circulation. There's a direct meridian line right to the heart on circulation. So you would take that middle finger and come right between the eyebrows, and you would gently begin to push up like you're opening that third eye, and you would come all the way up to the hairline. Let's go back again. You're right between the eyebrows. That's the beginning of bladder meridian, works with our nervous system. And you're just gently pressing, but pressing, taking that middle finger and pressing up slowly, opening up that third eye. One more time, right between the eyebrows. Pushing up gently, pressing in all the way to the hairline. So that's just a practice if you'd like to help open up your third eye. I also had a situation where a mother was very concerned about her daughter, who was probably only 7 or 8 at the time, and she was seeing people that had passed on. And this was not too long after the movie came out. I think it was The Sixth Sense was the movie. And so this young girl revealed to her mother that that was happening to her as well. And her mother had kind of mixed feelings about it. And I suggested that because of the young girl's age, that they consider shutting that down temporarily until she was older. And if she wanted to obviously this was a gift that she had. And if she wanted to use that professionally at some time in the future when she was older, that would be fine. But that right at this point in time, it wasn't really serving her. So I had her go up and do just the opposite, where I had her close her third eye. And we also did some other exercises, and it really helped calm her down and realize that she had control over this situation and she could work with it on her own. So I want to just let everybody know once again that if you take your cursor down to the bottom of your, whether you're on your iPhone or iPad or screen, that you can see video, you can see microphone, you can hit video if you want to be on video. You can also chat if you'd like as well. And then you can put any questions in the Zoom group chat. So what I'd like to do, since we're talking about the chakras and so on, I would like to do a meditation where we're actually blessing the chakra centers. And part of this is something that Joe Dispenza has begun doing in his week-long advanced classes. Joe Dispenza is the author of Becoming Supernatural. Becoming Supernatural, how the common person is doing the uncommon. And he's had enormous success teaching a specialized meditation that he's developed, and people are having extraordinary healing experiences. So I watched him live stream from Bonn, Germany about a month ago, and they had 1,200 people attending. It's hard to even get into his workshops. And he's a really very humble guy. He also wrote, How to Change Being Yourself. You Are the Placebo. And so if you have an opportunity to read something, he's really interesting. And what he's helping people do is, step out of their old self, so to speak, and step into their real self, or their true self, or their future self, or how they'd like to see themselves. And we're going to use the idea also at the end to bring in love and gratitude, because Dr. Masaru Emoto was a Japanese scientist who did a lot of experiments with water crystals, and he discovered that the strongest words, the most powerful words, were love and gratitude. So we'll use that at the very end. So I invite you to get comfortable, to just take a breath. And I'm going to lead you through blessing the chakra centers. And then this will be recorded, so you will have this to do on your own. And one other reason why I'm using this particular meditation is because our chakra system, our energy systems are connected to the endocrine system. And of course, we know the endocrine system controls all of our hormones, which control all of our body. So not only do we benefit by lighting up the chakra centers, but we also benefit by balancing the hormone centers. So let's go through this gently. Again, take a breath. And just let go. I invite you to close your eyes. And we're going to begin at the crown center. The crown center connects us to the universe, to universal knowing, inspiration, and to the divine. It not only has a capacity to connect us to the divine universally, but at the same time, the divine within our own being. So we bless the crown center, and with our imagination and intention, fill it with light and open it fuller so that we may receive inspiration on an ongoing basis. We step into the sixth chakra, connected to pituitary. At the crown, we were working with pineal. But at the sixth chakra, working with the pituitary, we're inviting our senses to see the truth, to hear the truth. The sixth chakra works with our hearing, our seeing, and we bless those gifts that we have in our visual and auditory society. So we bring light into those senses and gratitude. We slip down into the 5th center at the throat chakra, dealing with the thyroid, expression. And as I said in that other video I did, that for many years, women didn't have the kind of expression that they're coming into today. So we honor this sense of expression. And we can actually draw the figure 8 from ear to ear as we honor this center and support the thyroid. We come down and rest at the heart. And we honor this organ that keeps us alive, that allows us to have an emotional connection to everything around us, and also a spiritual connection. In Chinese medicine, they refer to body, mind, and spirit, and they use the term Shen for spirit, S-H-E-N, which they say resides in the heart. So we fill the heart with love and gratitude, light, and let it also expand to support us physically, emotionally, spiritually. We slip down to the solar plexus, and this is an area where we're working with major organs: liver, gallbladder, pancreas, spleen, kidney, and adrenals in the back. So it's one of our tougher chakra centers. And it's working with the pancreas. At the heart, we worked with the thymus. Now we're working with the pancreas. And that says, where do we get our sweetness in life from? Do we take it from the universe, from nature, or Ben and Jerry? So at that 3rd chakra, we fill it with light, with support, with safety, to be all of who we are. As we come down to the pelvic area and the root center, if we can imagine that that comes into a triangle that allows us to birth ourselves on the earth and our creativity. So at the pelvic area, we also work with that reproductive system, and at the root center, the adrenals and kidneys to support us. But if we take the 2 of them and make a triangle, they literally allow us to support ourselves, to stand up on the earth, to announce who we are, and to hold all of our being in love, honor, and reverence, just as we are, as we birth our ideas, as we birth ourself and our creativity here on Mother Earth. So just take a breath. We've been blessing those chakra centers from head to toe, and at the same time, balancing the hormones, bringing everything into balance from pineal, pituitary, thyroid, thymus, pancreas, reproductive system. So bring your hands now, one hand over the other at the heart. And just take this moment to hold all of your being in love, honor, and reverence, just as you are in this moment in time. Again, hold all of your being in love, honor, and reverence, just as you are in the moment. One final time. Holding all of your being in love, honor, and reverence, just as you are in this moment in time. We're going to end with that brief salutation that we did in the beginning. So we're bringing our palms into prayer position, raising them, placing them on top of the crown center. May I know the truth. Coming down, placing the thumbs on the third eye. May I see the truth. May I hear the truth. Bringing the thumbs off the lips. May I speak the truth. Bringing the thumbs to rest back at the heart. May I speak the truth from my heart. Opening our palms to all humanity. So I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight, and I would love to have any feedback how you experience Zoom. And I do want to answer Sherry's question here about high sense perception. We opened up the third eye with that brief exercise, but Sherry wanted to know what you could do for being more kinesthetic, to receive more, but not the third eye, Sherry. With being more kinesthetic, you would simply work with being grounded and present. The more grounded and present you are, the more you're going to feel, because that is going to connect to the root chakra, which is what helps us feel safe here on the earth and in the moment, and also allows us to be present with that other person or situation. So the best thing for the kinesthetic, again, is to be grounded and rooted. For someone who has clairaudience, the best thing would be meditation, just sitting in quiet and letting what needs to come to them. So I hope that answers that question. So once again, there's a little chat box down there. Hi, Mia. Thanks for joining us. There's a little chat box down there if anybody has a question, and I'm really curious as to how you like the Zoom. I do a lot of classes on Zoom for myself, and I just find it great to be able to have video, you know, to be able to see everyone, or, you know, you can also just have your name up there and not be on video, whatever is most comfortable for you. So if anybody has any comments, let me see. If you press, I think if you're on the phone, if you press *9, that should raise your hand, or press *6, that should unmute you. And thanks, Karen. You're saying it was easy to connect with and you liked it. Great. And if you if you just want to make any other comments or whatever, you can unmute yourself and give us a little info. Rose, okay.
Hi. I
Hi.
just wanted to make a short comment about your beginning meditation, that I really liked the hand meditation. It helps to really set your focus for the talk, and I really appreciated that.
Great. Well, Rose, I'm so glad you joined us. And the benefit of Zoom is that Rose is in Indiana. So
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Where are you from, Elsie?
Where am I?
Uh-huh.
I'm in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yes, and most of the people on the call are in New Jersey, if I'm looking correctly.
Really?
Yeah. No, yeah, or Philadelphia. They're either they're pretty much local in this area. Hi, Sherry. What did you think about? Did you understand what I said about that high sense perception?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
it was Anne's question.
Okay, go ahead.
She types faster than me.
What was that? I didn't get the question.
No, the question had been, I wanted to know, was there certain things, and you did answer it with the, actually with the meditation more of if you're having it all knowing, if you're all, I don't know what that's called. What was that called?
Or clairaudient.
know- what-
Clairaudient.
Clairaudient.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's, you answered it. You did answer
Right.
it.
Yeah.
That was a,
Yeah.
Thank you.
You would use that for you because you're also good at that. But remember, I said your primary was the direct knowing, but you kind of get that anyway through the meditation that you do.
yeah, I love the meditation. It was great.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to put on the light.
I've direct knowing you shall.
Yeah, I didn't realize all of a sudden it got dark. So Karen, thank you for letting me know that you found it easy to connect with. And I love sharing this. And I'm going to give you information about the brassica tea and how to get that coupon beginning July 1st. I'm going to send the replay, and it'll be a YouTube replay that you can share because this is a free webinar. And I'll be starting a monthly subscription in July, and I'll send you information about that. And it'll be once a month, and I'll be doing teaching, and also I'll be reading people's energy field if they have questions and need help on that. I don't give out private information in a public viewing, but I'd be happy to help people and give them some ideas and suggestions. So I'm really looking forward to going forward with an online subscription that will allow everyone to participate. It'll be on Zoom and it'll be recorded. So even if you can't make that month, it'll be the last Thursday of the month. Now, just to go back to say, remember tonight is a full moon. So think about what you want, because when the energy is this expanded, it's really great to ask for what you want. And to remember that July the 12th, I'll be doing that webinar with Pam Younghans. She'll be reviewing July through December and what we can expect, what the sun, moon, and stars is going to have in store for us. There are a number of eclipses coming up. Again, they promote a lot of chaos and things happening in the world. And she gives us an idea of how we can expect to feel physically and emotionally, politically, spiritually. So she's really brilliant at giving us that information, and I will send you the link if you'd like to register for that. So thanks everyone for joining me. And one more time, come up to your heart and hold all of your being in love, honor, and reverence, just as you are in this moment in time. If you have any other questions about tonight, you can always email me, elsie@wellnesswithelsie.com. And I'll send the link out in about an hour. So feel free to share it with anyone you like. Okay, everybody. Dolly and Karen and Anne and Sherry and Rose, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to sign off now.